Hey guys, it's Legendary Luke here, and as most of you probably know, Respawn announced the removal of tap strafe. The removal of tap strafing is pretty controversial, especially for those that really enjoyed it like me. But don't worry, in today's video, I'm going to show you how you will still be able to tap strafe even after the patch, and also some of the returning movement techniques that might come back with the removal of tap strafing. I think the removal of tap strafing may bring a lot of old techniques back that were used when tap strafing wasn't known about, but I'll get into that later in the video. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how you will still be able to tap strafe. Obviously, the result isn't going to be as big as it was with scroll wheel tap strafing, but it still will be possible. And to understand why it will still be possible, you need to understand how it works. Tap strafing works because of a program in the game's files called Lurch. Lurch is only found in the PC version of Apex Legends. That is why console players cannot tap strafe. What lurching does is that every time you press an input key, such as W, A, S, or D, it will give you a little bit of momentum boost in that direction. Lurching is responsible for a lot of movement techniques, not just tap strafing. Most of the more advanced movement on PC is made possible because of the lurch mechanic. With that being said, Respawn cannot remove this mechanic from the game. Because Respawn can't actually get rid of tap strafing, because they can't remove the lurch mechanic, they had to find another way to do it. With the release of the patch notes, it shows that they will just make it so you cannot bind the forward movement input to scroll wheel, which is how PC players tap strafe. You scroll the wheel and a bunch of W keys get inputted into the game, making you turn directions quickly. So Respawn actually didn't remove tap strafing, they just made it way harder to do. To do it now, you pretty much just have to spam W. And it's not going to give you the same result, you can't do 180-degree turns, but technically tap strafing is still working. If you don't believe me, go into the firing range and see for yourself. To do it, start by the normal run, slide jump. Then when you're in the air from the slide jump, spam W and either A or D, the direction you're trying to go, while flicking your mouse like before. You should see a quick change in direction and momentum. Obviously, it's way harder to do than the old tap strafing, because with that you could just scroll your wheel and pretty much all you had to do was press the direction key and flick your mouse. One of the main uses for tap strafing was to tap strafe in and out of wall bounces. You can still do this by spamming W and tap strafing. It just works the same, but you don't get as sharp of a turn, so you have to plan a little bit wider of an arc. As we all know, one of the main uses for tap strafing is off of an octane jump pad. When you take an octane jump pad, you're very exposed, and if you're getting shot at, there's really nothing you can do. Tap strafing made it so you could control where you went with the jump pad, which was very useful for not only strafing from bullets, but also reaching places that you could, just doing the normal double jump. To do this version of tap strafing off of a jump pad, you pretty much do the same thing. Just slide into the jump pad, wait for your double jump, and when you are ready, press the double jump button, hold the directional key, and press W several times while flicking your mouse. This should give you a quick directional change in the way you're trying to go, but I do not think it is possible to turn 180 degrees using this method. With tap strafing removed, I believed a technique called momentum shifting should start to reappear. I've mentioned momentum shifting in some of my other movement videos, but I'm gonna bring it up again in this one, because now more than ever, it's important to know. Momentum shifting is another movement technique that uses some of the lurch mechanic to allow you to change directions while in the air. It's kind of like a semi-tap strafe, but a lot easier and more effortless to do. To do it, start by running at the wall or corner you want to turn around. Do a slide jump, but just before the corner, and as you are in the air, turn your back so it is facing the direction you want to go. As you are doing that, you should stop pressing your forward movement button and only be pressing your backwards input. Backing around the corner is the way you maintain the most momentum. If you just want to strafe in the air when you're doing a slide jump, coming off of a wall bounce, or something else, then momentum shifting is for you. The second way to do it is by slide jumping and then simply in the air pressing A or D in the direction you want to go. And if you want more of a sharp turn, you can also throw in your backwards movement of S, which will slow you down a little bit, but will also make your turn much sharper. The last thing for me to mention in this video is that with the removal of tab strafing, you will have an open bind on your scroll wheel. In this video, I'm going to tell you the two best things that you can bind it to. Scroll wheel is a unique bind because it allows multiple inputs to be pressed rapidly one after another, which is unique and useful, especially for certain things. One of those things is interact. Picking up loot from the floor will be made way easier with scroll wheel. You can just scroll your wheel and pretty much everything will become yours. You should never get outlooted again. The second option you have for an input to put on your scroll wheel is actually fire. That's right, fire as in to shoot your gun. What's special about this is that it will let you shoot single fire weapons extremely fast, such as the R301, Hemlock, and Flatline. All you have to do is scroll your wheel and you'll be shooting faster than physically possible. It almost looks like you're cheating, but you're not. I would be a little careful at first with this though, because you might get reported, and I'm technically not sure if this is bannable at this moment, so do it at your own risk. With that being said, it is super helpful and nice, especially if we ever do see the return of the anvil receiver hop up. This will be absolutely broken. That was the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned how tab strafing is still possible and some of the other techniques that you can use to replace it. I highly recommend you going to the firing range and try them out right now. Otherwise, please like and subscribe, it's really appreciated, and also check out some other content on my channel. I think you would really enjoy it. And there's a lot of movement techniques, advanced, beginner, and for those in between.